Welcome, dear traders. It's me, Kate Stichin, and you're watching a recap of the Asian session on April 26. Euphoria over China's economic recovery waned. Asian stock markets took a nosedive following a fall on Wall Street. Bearish sentiment prevailed in the morning as well. Let's discuss the main highlights of the Asian session. Market sentiment turned sour after the release of fresh earnings reports from banks. The quarterly results reflect the overall situation in the banking sector as well as the state of the U.S. economy. Regional lender First Republic saw deposits fall by 41% during the first quarter, worse than Wall Street analysts feared. It renewed fears of a new wave of the banking crisis, and the shares of this bank collapsed by almost 49.4% yesterday. As a result, Asian stocks also declined amid growing concerns over the banking sector. Even optimistic earnings reports revealed by Microsoft and Google failed to improve sentiment. Besides, the Fed meeting is approaching. It's scheduled for May 3. It makes traders more anxious. According to the CME FedWatch Tool, 79% of investors are betting on a 25 basis point rate hike. However, traders priced in such a scenario a long time ago, and for this reason, only some unexpected decisions or hawkish comments of the Fed may boost volatility in the stock market. For instance, if the Fed takes a pause in aggressive tightening or hikes the key rate by 50 basis points, it will definitely cause a sharp market reaction. The US currency could also resume an upward movement. On a Wednesday morning, the US dollar index remained in a narrow range of 101.5 and 101.9. And today, durable goods orders data is on a tap, which could help the greenback escape a narrow range. However, judging by the movements on the forex, investors are not particularly focused on this report or its influence on the Fed's rate decision. The US dollar broke through 101.8, falling to 101.50 ahead of the report. It may reach the pivot level of 100 points. If so, the next target will be 99.8, the weekly low of April 21, 2022. However, the resistance level of 102.8, the weekly high of the April 10, looked unattainable for the US dollar at the start of the Asian session. For the Japanese yen, the sentiment on forex was quite favorable today. Even the Bank of Japan's dovish comments did not hinder its rise. The regulator will announce its rate decision on April 28. However, the new meeting will hardly bring any surprises. It will be the first meeting chaired by Kazuo Ueda. The new leadership remains committed to a dovish stance. Kazuo Ueda stated that it was appropriate to maintain the bank's ultra-loose monetary policy for now. Despite these comments, the yen managed to approach 133.50. In the Asian session, it added gains amid a sell-off of the US dollar and falling US Treasury yields. The dollar-yen pair was moving in the red, price carried of 133.40 and 133.90. The trajectory of the yen may be impacted by durable goods orders data. As we have already mentioned, this report may also affect the US dollar and give a boost to the dollar-yen pair. However, demand for the Japanese currency as a safe haven asset may increase amid a drop in the risk appetite. Traders are unwilling to take risk due to mounting concerns over the banking sector. The Australian dollar will hardly advance after the Reserve Bank of Australia meeting. According to recent economic reports, inflation in Australia is constantly declining. It fell to 7% from a 30-year high of 7.9%. 0.8% in the first quarter of this year. The Aussie dived down to its 6-week low. At the end of the Asian session, it was trading at 0.6608. The Reserve Bank of Australia has recently taken a pause in monetary tightening. At the same time, the Fed is highly likely to raise the rate by 25 basis points. So the pressure on the Australian currency will only increase, pushing it lower versus the greenback. Another bearish factor is the fall in oil prices. The United States will publish its crude inventories data today. Until then, the recovery of oil prices could be weak. In the Asian session, the AUD-USD pair was trading in the downward channel of 0.6601 and 0.6639. And that's all for now. We keep close tabs on the market developments. Subscribe to the channel and keep your finger on the pulse. And see you soon.